Alrighty, we are live with the Dana Show. Hey everyone, I'm Dana Bentz, realtor with Keller Williams, and today we have three guests today. So we have Derek, Austin, and Tyler. Hey guys, how's it going?
Amazing. How are you doing, Dana?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So thanks for being on the show. So I have quite a few questions, and I know some people already have been excited to hear about your business. So why don't you tell the audience what business you guys are in? How do you all know each other?
So we are in the real estate industry, real estate investing, and what we specialize in is luxury vacation rentals all across the United States. We just got recently started here in Arizona, and back home, me and Austin here are from Canada. And back home, we've got lots and lots of real estate. We've bought multi-million dollars worth of real estate. And then we teamed up now with Derek, who we met down here a little while ago. And now we formed into a really good tribe. And we're absolutely killing it. We're picking up luxury Airbnb rentals. So it's going great.
Sweet. So your business is real estate. And what you do is you rent them out. And then you put them on Airbnb, and then you're hosting them, basically. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So is that what you started to do in Canada, and then you brought that to where you are now?
No, where we are from in Canada, in Saskatchewan, Airbnb,
no one's visiting that.
Nobody's really visiting there.
It's like the Midwest.
Yeah, there's not much going on, and it was really cold in the winter. So and then we're just like, whatever, let's just go to Arizona, pick up some Airbnbs. Everybody goes to vacation there. There's lots going on with MLB spring training and business and everything. So then we said, let's go down there and start this. So back home, our real estate, we purchase long-term investments, and we strictly just rent them out long-term. We don't do short-term rentals. So it's two totally different aspects. So that's kind of why we came down here, because the short-term rental game here is way hotter than back home.
Yep. Yeah. So what got you started way back when, just even in real estate investing in general?
I'll start it off. So right out of high school, I went into carpentry and kind of wanted to get into real estate investing because I was paying rent, and the rent was more than the mortgage payment. So I just I was 18 at the time, and was really driven to buying an up-down duplex. So I bought my first one, and then within 4 months, I'd bought in 4 houses that were all up-down duplexes, and just kind of dove into that. I was doing property management at the time as well, so I really, had a good handle on how to deal with tenants and expenses and everything that came in with that. And then I did that for, I still have those properties. And it was about 2 years of that before I ran into Tyler. We know each other from way back. We went way back to, I think we were like 14, maybe.
Just little
gaffers, yeah. So we were about 14 when we met each other playing hockey together. And then 2 years after I got into real estate, I kind of reached out to him and just said, hey, why don't we collaborate on something? So.
And then for me, I simply, when I was like just turned 17, I was just finding ways to make a bunch of money. So I Googled ways to make money, just studying that. And real estate kept popping up. All these big billionaires, always real estate this, real estate that. So then I just kind of got into real estate. So a Google search is really how I got into it.
And then for me, I don't really have a real estate background. It's more so I've been in content creation and social media all my career. So when I met up with these guys, we were kind of collaborating on my strengths of branding and doing videos, with them knowing all about real estate. And we kind of learned from each other over the last month. So it's been awesome.
Smart. Wow. So you guys have a pretty cool, you each have pretty different backgrounds. So what I want to know is, since you've had both experiences of long-term rentals and then short-term rentals, Airbnbs, nightly rentals, that sort of thing, why did you choose Airbnb for Arizona, and which method of investing do you like better?
I personally like the Airbnb method, the short-term rental method, because it generates quick cash flow. right? With little amounts of money. For a few $1,000s, you can generate a few $1,000s cash flow instantly, right? With my properties back home, I mean, yes, you're getting that long-term wealth, that net worth, but I mean, you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a down payment. So it's a lot more work and a lot more time for you to see that cash flow. Where in my position, I got so much property back home for long-term. I need to now work on the short-term. So that's where this Airbnb cash comes into play. And I think anybody out there that wants to start in real estate, to start an Airbnb, because you're going to learn the basics before you go and invest tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars into real estate long-term. You should just play the fun little Airbnb game, I like to call it, for quick cash to get used to it. And Austin, I mean, it's pretty similar, no?
I like doing both. You know, I had all those houses and they cash flow, which is great, but the cash flow from one of those properties, or all four actually, is about the same that we cash flow on an Airbnb in a month. So it's a lot more of that quicker cash flow, but you don't have that mortgage pay down, you don't have that asset appreciation, and you don't have that certainty with Airbnbs either. Your Airbnb could go unbooked for almost months at a time. So I like investing in both, but Airbnb is way more fun to do, way more fun. So
and the big thing too is we're renting the property, it's not buying. So it's so much easier to rent and get everything. Oh, the biggest expense is really the furniture, I would say.
Yeah, that's it.
And then once that gets going, getting everything into place, it's pretty much systemized. And I think like for me, that it's not even in real estate, it's an easy way for me to get involved and be able to actually do something versus, you know, I could skip the whole investor part and get to that later on when I have more experience.
Like Derek got his, since we met and we started shooting content, and then we're like, hey, we really got to partner up. Derek got his first property, his first income property within a week and a half of meeting us, not knowing anything in real estate. And it's hilarious, right? And that property, if you're doing the other method of buy and hold, like actually getting a mortgage, it would have probably took $30,000 to get the mortgage and then maybe make the cash flow that we're making on it. And it only cost us $4,500 with furniture and deposits.
Wow. So you would actually recommend this as like to newbie investors?
It's almost like a stepping stone, because I self-funded my first houses, so it was easier for me. Tyler didn't use a dime of his own money.
All investor money.
So we come from different aspects, but this is basically, it's like a beginner step, because, you know, I bought them all in my hometown with no intention of ever moving away. But, you know, if the market tanks, or if we have another issue like we did back in Canada, it was 2008, with this Airbnb model, you don't need to actually, you know, you don't need to be worried about it, because if the market tanks and you have issues selling or renting it out, perfect. Your lease only lasts a year. You can get up and out of there. And if Europe's looking good, you can do it in Europe. If Costa Rica's looking good, you can do it in Costa Rica. You can really take it anywhere. And then it's a good way to also test the market prior to buying in that market. So,
and to build off that, you know, as a beginner investor, if somebody's going at it alone for the first property, you know, with this, like Austin mentioned, say you do a year lease at the property and you sublease it out on Airbnb, your commitment's only 1 year. So if you mess up or make a big mistake, I mean, you got to pay out the lease, get out of the lease. It's not that bad. What could be worse is you get into that same situation, but on a 25-year mortgage with your savings tied up, right? And not many people know about this. Like when we were telling Derek about this when he first joined, he was like, wait, what? It was just like
you had to own the property to rent it out. I didn't know you could rent.
Loopholes.
It's small.
Yeah.
So okay, let's go there. Walk me through what exactly the process is. So I'm thinking, like, if I was a landlord, why would I let you guys just come in and take my house and just rent it out to who knows who on Airbnb? So how do you convince all of these landlords to let you do this?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is being landlords ourselves. You know, I back home had 86 rental units, and I've dealt with many, many tenants. And so coming from that perspective, when I'm contacting these landlords, you know, I let them know that we are a reputable company, right? That I'm actually, I tell them I would rather deal with me than dealing with any other tenants. You know, we give, no matter what, post-dated checks. We screen our tenants. We fix any maintenance problems up to $700. If there's holes in the walls, I'm going to fix them. I'm going to take care of that property because my company's reputation is on the line with that property, right? So, and like same with us, we don't want to have just all these random crazy people coming in to go party, right? That's not at all what we want. We're after business people and families. So we, take a very big screening process on our end. And a lot of property owners, a lot of them are willing to work with us because they see that, they're just deal with us. You don't got to deal with anybody coming and going. And some property owners are, right away against it because, they're scared, or a lot of them don't like that, we're making money on their property, even though we're paying them full rent. So it's really hit or miss, but to sum it up, I mean, I think we'd be a better choice to rent to than any tenants out there.
It's kind of how you present it to the people. Because, I mean, for me, like, that was the big question for me. I was like, how am I going to go in there and just say, like, hey, can we Airbnb an apartment unit? And they're like, no, immediately shut down. So I talked with them, I'm learning more about it. It's more so the strategy of getting that property and the way you converse with the person. Over time, you kind of build that rapport, and then you introduce the Airbnb slowly with all these kind of steps that we implement. So.
Yeah, something that we also do is we show them properties that we have running, for example, as well. Like we give them access to our website and they can check it out. Right on there, we have a tab that says "Why Rent to Sir Global," which is our company for the vacation rentals. So.
Oh, okay. Yep. So they can see that you guys, this isn't your first time doing something like this. You've got
exactly. This ain't our first rodeo.
Yeah, exactly. Smart. So it looks like on Instagram that you guys are teaching other people how to do this. Mm-hmm. How are you doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a passion. That's the biggest thing with us is we're super passionate about helping others, especially because I was at a point when I was, 16, 17 years old, wanting to get into real estate, and it was hard to find that group of other young people striving for real estate. And it was tough, right? And I wanted to find the right step-by-step systems and the right tribe to bring me up. And there was times where I was spinning my tires and I was like, I want to do real estate. And then people were like, no, it's an old person's game. You can't do it. And it was really tough. And then, with going through what I went through and to get to where I am now and all the past successes and failures, I look back and I'm like, if I was that person again, what would I want? And that's what we're creating right now to help out all these young guys, young women, and even anybody really in general. I mean, more so the young, because we connect with them. We've been in their position and we know the steps it takes to get out. And we want them to learn from our mistakes. They don't have to make those same ones.
And also, you guys, the main thing I kind of got brought on is there's been so many people been asking so many questions to these guys, just like I have. So I was like, as soon as they started talking more and more about it, I was so curious. But there is really like a lot of in-depth parts to this, and all the systems and all the kind of spreadsheets and all the tools that you can use, they have all of it kind of templated out. So I think that's a huge thing, like partnering up and creating like course content and going in the future is offering all these tools that you can use that kind of help bypass the long-term learning process and allow you just to kind of right into it. So that's kind of another huge factor that we're also kind of teaching is the lessons as well as the content.
Yeah. So it sounds like you guys put together the process and then someone can just come in and work with you and kind of be a plug and play system for how to do it.
Absolutely. They got to put in the work though.
Yeah.
There's so many times we deny people, we tell people, hey, you know what? This isn't for you because this is for massive action takers only.
Yeah. So another thing that we like to do is sometimes we'll have people actually fly in and they'll just shadow us for a few days. And it really gives them a good incentive or a good in-depth analysis of how we go through the entire process, because we can pick up an Airbnb and order everything for it in a matter of, a day or two. We might not have it fully launched, but it gives them a good, kind of mindset as to what needs to happen in order for them to do exactly what we do as well. So,
yep, that's awesome. So how much do you charge for someone to shadow you? Or is that kind of like free and then they should buy your course?
That's in the works.
That's in the works. Right now we have, it's mostly our friends and family back home, not family, sorry, just friends that are curious as to what we're doing and they're coming down to learn. And, we don't know how much we're going to charge for that, if we are, or what our structure is going to be right now. We have a bit of a price range in mind. We run another course for multifamily long-term buy and holds as well. And that's priced at $2,500 US, but we're not sure where this one's going to land. So.
Okay. Neat. So you're saying that newbie people, newbie investors, newbie young entrepreneurs who want to get into real estate could start or should even start in the Airbnb space. So what would you say is like the first step someone could take who doesn't really know much but who wants to do something like this? What would be a good action step for them to take?
Get a coach and mentor.
I was going to say, get educated. Whether it's from us or somebody else, you need to get educated in what you're doing, because you're just going to sit in the same spot, spin your tires, and not get anywhere, really. If we didn't have a coach and mentor teach us how to do our long-term stuff, if we didn't have a coach and mentor to teach us the Airbnb process, we wouldn't be where we are today, right? We've spent a lot of money on ourselves and personal development, as well as real estate knowledge, in order to have the portfolios that we have right now.
And to build off that, when you really think about it, we were mentors to Derek like 2 weeks ago, and he basically got his first property in a week. Obviously, he's part of the team, right? But at the end of the day, we literally sat him down, went through absolutely step by steps, and he called the place, analyzed the place. He's like, guys, let's do it. And I've been in a position too where it's like your tires are spinning, you just don't know how to get there, and just getting the coach and mentor is huge. And the biggest thing is you got to invest in yourself before you invest in real estate. The best investment you can make in yourself, or the best investment you can make rather, is in yourself, because you get to determine the ROI on that, the return on investment. So I highly recommend that. And when you're talking to investors, realtors, or anybody, and you're a newbie, it's better to be like, hey, I'm backed by my team. I'm well educated. I got this course on my belt. I know what I'm doing. Because real estate could be a great investment, or it could be the absolute worst investment. You can lose all your money, lose other people's money. It could be the worst thing that could possibly happen when you're not educated. So
yeah, and definitely learning with these guys. Not only did I learn a lot, but going out and getting the properties, I had that kind of confidence because I knew I could ask questions and kind of be backed by them. Now, if there's anything that arises, any issues, I know I could find the solution quickly and move forward. So that was very helpful as well.
Yeah, that's such a good point. So if you're new, get a coach to help you.
Yes. Exactly.
So tell me about the portfolio now. So how many Airbnbs are you running?
Right now, we're just rolling over 14 at the moment. We have another 5 coming this week. And
the first. The first is on Friday. Yeah. I got that day is like crazy busy for us. We got all these leases lined up.
So I only flew down here December 27th. So it's been just a month and 3 days. So
my goodness.
It's quick. It's quick. It's very quick. So it's we're able to scale it really large because we get all those systems in place, and that's why we are able to teach it as well. Because we have everything. We know that it works. It's a proven factor. We picked up, close to 20 units in a month and a half almost. So it's an effective model to move forward with. So
the goal for this year, for 2019, is 250 globally. We're gonna get them in the US, go back to Canada, get some, Belize, Costa Rica, go down to Latin America, Europe, Australia,
the model
Japan,
works anywhere and everywhere.
China. So we're going across the world, and it's
that's the fun thing for me is like getting into this type of investing. It's like I got to travel the world, and as a videographer, photographer, capturing awesome moments. I have properties to shoot models in and stuff like that as well. When I'm not there, of course, they're being on Airbnb. So I think it's awesome to have tangible properties that are around the world. That seems like a dream in itself. So.
Yeah, that's so neat. It's like mixing so many fun things together, like travel and short-term rentals and investing and real estate.
And making money.
And
yeah.
That's awesome. So, well, thanks to you guys so much for being on the show. I have one last question. So since the show is all about entrepreneurs, we've talked a lot about investing on the show, but it's mostly about entrepreneurs, especially people who are aspiring entrepreneurs, educating them on business. What would you say are the pros and cons of being entrepreneurs yourself and running this business that no one else really does?
You go first.
I think for me it's a lot of the freedom. So a bit of more on my backstory. I was in engineering school up until January 1st. So I was doing all my real estate stuff on the side. And I actually dropped out of engineering school to come be a full-time entrepreneur. And, you know, behind all the smoke and mirrors, it's a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot out of a person. So you really need to have it in you. But the perks are, you know, endless, right? You get to determine how much money you make. You get to determine your schedule. You get to determine where you're going to go and what you're going to do. And I think having that freedom is totally rewarding in itself, let alone what you're going to be doing and the rewards from that as well. So
I would say the pros is you get to do whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want. Time freedom, travel freedom, you're your own boss, nobody's above you. And the con is funny because I would say it's also that. Because those days you're like sleeping in, guess what? Your business isn't running, depending how big your business is. If you're a startup entrepreneur, if you're not working, your business isn't working. And so that could also be a con in itself. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love waking up, not knowing what's going to happen, needing to get out there and make that money. We got a huge overhead that we got to cover. So I love that excitement and that thrill. It just gets me out of bed every single morning. So I would say I absolutely love it. I wouldn't change it for anything.
And for me, I actually completed school. So I'm a little older than these guys. But I was, you know, doing the 9-to-5 job. And I just kind of thought, long term, where am I going to be in 20 years? Like doing the same thing, or maybe I'll get a manager position or go a little further. But it just sounded sad. I'm like, for me, I was like, I want to do some exciting stuff. I like watch YouTube videos of all these influencers. I'm always watching and observing on YouTube all these awesome people doing amazing things. But it was that time where I was just like, you know what? I just got to shut up and take action. And that was just an amazing feeling, because I feel like the con is you're losing security from your job. At least for me, I felt afraid to lose the security. But the pro was not that the security of my life was in my hands, not my boss, me. I am in control of doing it, and I can either fail or succeed. And I think even if I do fail, I can recover and learn from it and move forward. But I think the biggest failure is not even trying at all. So that's kind of, I feel like the pros strongly outweigh the cons. And it's not for everyone, but I think a majority of people nowadays, there's a way to make it happen. Even if it's a side hustle while you're working, you can get the entrepreneurial job or entrepreneurial things happening. So,
yeah, wow, very neat. Well, that's why you guys are all entrepreneurs, because the pros are outweighing the cons.
Yeah, it just feels great.
Feels amazing.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Derek and Austin and Tyler, thank you so much for being on the Dana Show. It was so much fun to have you. I think I learned a lot about Airbnb, and I think most of our viewers learned a lot about your business. So is there anything else that any other tips you want to give our other entrepreneurs watching?
Go big and take crazy risks. Don't think back. Say yes, figure it out later. Take massive action. That's about it.
Awesome. Well, we'll close with that. We'll close with that. Well, thank you guys again so much for being on the show. And thanks everyone who's watching. We will see you next week on the Dana Show.
Thank you, Dana.
Thanks for having us.